Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. I'm so excited. We're going to talk all about leadership harmony and how it's going to accelerate your success in all areas of your life today. I'm super excited for this topic. We're going to go 60 or 70 minutes or so. There's going to be an exercise at the last section, and you can do it live with me or you can do it afterwards. Not a problem. I'm going to give you a link to download the workbook. And we're going to get going. So if you're here watching live, feel free to comment. This is an interactive experience. And if you're here watching the replay, just hashtag replay and comment. And I'm really excited to journey this with you. So with that, I'm going to share my screen. And we're going to get going. Okay. Okay, so I want to make sure everybody can see the presentation screen, and then you should be able to see me in the top corner. So welcome. Okay, so like I said, we're going to be talking for the next 60 minutes or so about how leadership harmony will accelerate success in all areas of your life, both personally and professionally. Okay, so this is this is an open space. It's going to nourish your mind, your body, and your soul. Please ask questions. This is collaborative, and most of all, have some fun. So before we begin, to help us slow down and to be more present, we're going to take a few moments to be intentionally quiet. We're going to take a few deep breaths. We don't pause nearly long enough in our busy lives, and it's often the most simplest of things that bring us the deepest impact, create the biggest ripple of impact in our world. So with that, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes and to follow my lead. So we're going to begin. We're going to take a deep breath in. We're going to hold. We're going to take a deep breath in through our nose, and we're going to hold, and then we're going to exhale through our mouth, okay? So I'm going to invite you to take a long, deep breath slowly through your nose. I want you to feel your lungs expand. I want you to hold your breath for 3 seconds and feel the sensation of your body, of the weight of your feet on the ground, and imagine all of your stress, everything exiting through your feet into the ground as you slowly breathe out through your mouth. We're going to do this 2 more times, okay? So we're going to take another long, deep breath in through the nose, same manner as the first time, and we're going to hold for 3 seconds. And this time I want you to check in with your emotions. How do you feel? Are you anxious? Are you excited? Are you grateful? I want you to slowly release your breath and imagine yourself becoming more relaxed, more alert at the same time. And we're going to take one final long, deep breath. And as you hold this last breath, I want you to ask yourself, what is the most important thing for me to focus on right now? When you're ready, you may open your eyes. So I have a question for you. How important is balance, there's harmony in your life and in your business relationships? I want you to go ahead and share in the comments. How important is balance or harmony in your life and in your business relationships? Yeah, it's super important. Love it. Thank you. So 15 years ago, I got the tattoo Live with Intent on my back. And at the time, I was going through a lot and I needed some inspiration. And if you would have told 30-year-old Amy, who was working in corporate at the time, that 10 or 15 years later, she'd be running her own company called Live with Intent, would not have believed you. But as you can tell, intention is a very important part of who I am. It helps me stay in alignment with my purpose, and living with intention has gotten me to where I am today, which is talking to you, which is doing what I love, which I'm so, so grateful for. So I always set a personal intention with my audience that you're going to walk away with at least one thing that's going to help you with a particular challenge or particular problem that you're looking to solve. And I also love asking my audience, what is your intention for the day? What's the best takeaway that you could receive from our time here together today? So please go ahead and set your intentions, and you can drop it in a comment, you can hashtag replay, and then we'll begin. Peace. Yes. More success. Love it. Clarity. Yeah. So today, I want to ask you, how many of you would like to decrease your stress, create more work-life balance, and accelerate your success? Today, I'm going to show you how you can simply do this by confidently trusting your self-leadership, by rebalancing your inner masculine and your inner feminine energy. We're going to learn about what this is, and how to create a sustainable system that's going to prioritize your wellness. So, who am I? My name is Amy Jones, and I'm 45. I'm a wife and a mom. I've got 3 little humans running around, and I'm the founder and CEO of Live with Intent, which is a mind, body, soul wellness company. So before, on paper, my life checked all the boxes. I had the nice house, I was working in corporate, nice car, I was engaged, had a couple of little kids. And in 2017, after the birth of my second child, my entire world came crashing down. I was faced with some very serious relationship trust issues, and something had to change. And at the time, I wasn't strong enough to lead myself the way I knew I needed, so I searched for help. I ended up connecting randomly with an amazing woman, and she introduced me to energy healing, and instantly my life changed. I learned about chakras. I learned about masculine and feminine energy. I learned about the subconscious. I meditated for the first time ever. I remember thinking, oh my God, where have you been my whole life? How did I not know that this world existed? For the first time in my life, after years of counseling and years of therapy, I finally felt as though I was no longer putting a Band-Aid on the problem. I was getting to the root of my issue, which for me was lack of trust, fear of abandonment, and poor self-worth. So I did a lot of healing. You name it, I've tried it. And before, I couldn't get out of my head. I was a doer, I was a hustler, I was a control freak, constantly fantasizing about the future, not living in the present moment. Leading with my heart was a completely foreign concept to me. I was living a life of lies, of codependency, of addiction, of unhealthy relationship attachment issues. My life was a mess, and I didn't trust anything in my world. I didn't trust anything in my world. I didn't know this. When I learned how to lead myself and honor all of me, masculine and feminine energetic harmony, my whole world changed. My mind stopped spinning. I was able to get quiet and listen, and I rebuilt my foundation solid from the ground up. And I'm really, really proud of the woman that I am today. A year ago, I exited my 20-year corporate business sales career, and our family moved 5 hours away to our new home, and life now moves very different. I taste the moments instead of hurrying over them in a rush. I linger. Life is richer, it's more meaningful, it's deeper. And I speak my truth, and I face my fears, even if it scares me. And I have the courage to feel it all because I now know I can hold it all. And I'm not perfect, far from it, but I have found what works for me, and that's to live with intention. And as I lead myself in harmony, I empower those I love to lead in harmony as well. Because I trust you to lead. Because I trust myself to lead. Because I now listen to the whispers of my heart. And I've created a life that feels purposeful and a business that is pleasurable, it's heart-centered, and it's expansive. And I want to help you do the same. Accelerate your success with leadership harmony. I'd love to hear from you. I would love for you to share something that you have personally learned, or maybe that has to help accelerate your success that you could share with your peers and pay it forward. And as those are sharing in the comments, think about what you have learned about each other in this space here today. And let's celebrate that success, because that's important. So today, in order to understand how to lead in harmony, okay, we first need to understand what harmony is, what leadership harmony is, and why this original archetype of leadership is resurfacing as a healthy alternative to our historical model of hierarchical leadership. So when you don't feel safe to trust, you control more. When you don't feel safe to let go, you hold more. When you don't feel safe to surrender, you do more. When you don't feel safe to relax, you constrict more. And when you don't feel safe to fully give, you really struggle to fully receive. So the purpose of trust is to help you feel safe and secure in your world so that you can have the freedom to give and to receive as you desire. Your soul's purpose is to enjoy life, okay? That's it. Just enjoy life. And you do this by trusting yourself to feel safe and secure so that you can give and receive in abundance without any attachments or dependencies to people, places, or things that limit your freedom to be in joy. This is consciously or unconsciously. So trust is the very first stage of psychosocial development, relationship development, okay? This begins when you're growing in the womb and it goes until about age 2. This stage absolutely is monumental in influencing your development. It helps you feel safe and secure. And when a child successfully develops trust, you've got that solid foundation. And your parents are primarily the ones that help shape this for you. Okay, so I have a reflection exercise for you. I want you to think about how you were raised, what you learned from your parents. Now, I want you to think about what your parents learned from your grandparents, from their generation. Maybe they were going through some personal issues. Maybe there was some things going on globally. So perhaps your childhood sounded something like this. Do as you're told. Finish your dinner. Make your bed. Don't talk back to me. Not now, I'm too busy. Yes, sir, no, sir. You can begin to see how all the possibilities where a lack of stability and trust maybe could have occurred. No fault to your parents, no fault to your grandparents. Completely different generation. Heck, we're going to screw up our kids going forward, right? We're doing the best that we can. We're raised the best that we can based on what we're exposed to at the time. Think about, that's you as a child, and then your house gets a little bit older. Maybe your household sounds something like this. Go to school, get a job, buy a house, get married, have some kids. invest in your retirement. Do as I do. It worked for me, so I know it's going to work for you. We never really stopped to ask ourselves, how do you feel? How do I feel? What do I really want? Whose life am I living? Mine or my parents? I need to share in the comments who can relate. So as a young child, maybe your foundation was wobbly. Because maybe you were looking outside of yourself for the safety and stability. Because maybe you were not taught or given the space to adequately learn how to trust yourself. And the result is you have a false sense of safety, you're out of balance, and your leadership is repeatedly outsourced. So outsourced leadership is literally knowing or unknowingly allowing somebody else to make your decisions. This causes friction with your internal guidance system, your nervous system, your intuition, your ability to trust yourself. It creates a dissonance between who we are and what we do. And the result is that your mind and your heart are out of sync. You're not able to self-regulate this internal guidance system because you don't know what it feels like. And you don't want to feel uncomfortable. So you keep running away from feeling really good or really bad because you don't know how to hold any of it safely, confidently. So you stay in these predictable loops and these predictable patterns. Well, at least if I do this, I know that happens. It might not be exactly what I want, but there's safety in that. And that safety comes from seeking external people, places, or things to bring in a false regulation, your internal guidance system. The problem is this results in anxiety, stress, addiction, codependency, attachment issues, physical, mental, emotional health issues, exhaustion, burnout, confusion, overwhelm, and control issues. And the crazy part is we don't even know we're doing this because 97% of how we operate is subconscious based on old thoughts, patterns, and beliefs that we learned as a child, that maybe our parents learned and taught us, that maybe our grandparents learned and taught us, because we're all part of the same DNA. So if we've knowingly or unknowingly learned how to outsource our leadership, do as we're told, creating a false sense of safety and stability, which limits our ability to bring trust in so that we can act based on our self-trust, because we don't know how that feels because we were never taught. We don't know how to hold it all. And most of this is going on unconsciously. And we're stuck in these predictable patterns of do this, receive that, because it feels safe. How do we fix this? We begin by practicing self-trust. Okay. So fear screams, okay, but your intuition whispers. And there is always a physical response with your intuition. Sometimes it's so subtle that we miss it. That's why at the beginning of our class, I took a few minutes to bring intention to a container to turn off the outside noise, to bring intention so that we could listen more powerfully to our internal guidance system. What was your intention for the time here today? I'm certain it's different from mine or the next person. So as you're learning to build self-trust, the very first thing that you're going to do is when in doubt, you're going to go slow, okay? This is going to help you get quiet and listen so that you can connect with yourself and build that intuition, strengthen that intuition. This is going to create space for you to explore. What does trust look and feel like within my body? Do I tingle? Do I get knots in my stomach? Do my ears ring? Do I hear things? Do I see things? Do I just know in my gut? If we're too busy, we're going to miss those signs because they whisper. And so as you're practicing this, you're going to hold space for yourself. And you're going to love yourself just as you are, without any judgment, without any criticism, because this is an exercise of progress and not perfection. We're always learning, we're always growing, we're always evolving and deepening. This might be new, this might be scary, this might feel uncomfortable to you, but we're human. Be patient, be kind, be loving to yourself. You're exactly where you're meant to be. So in my program, The Aligned Woman, Reclaim Your Self-Leadership, trust is a foundational pillar of success. Vanessa, one of my clients, she came to me and she was initially sad. She had this flat energy. She was unhappy, she was overwhelmed, she was confused. And she didn't know what she needed to do, but she wanted to change something. Her marriage was close to divorce. She hated her job. Her relationship with her children was really challenging. And so we started at the very beginning. We looked at her core values. We looked at her goals, how she spoke to herself, how she took care of herself, how she managed her time. And we rebuilt her foundation solid from the ground up based on her trust, nobody else's. Literally within a few weeks, she was standing taller. She was speaking more confidently. She was calmer and more relaxed. And by the end of our 3 months together, she was making healthier choices. Her marriage was closer than ever, and she fell back in love with a job that she was ready to leave. Her relationship with her children was more present and more peaceful. And this is why trust is so important, because you don't have to run away from everything. You can stay in the exact same situation that you're in. But looking at your situation from a completely different perspective, through a completely different lens, is empowering. Oh, it's confidence building, it's leadership, it's strength, and it's beautiful, and it's love. And it's because you trust yourself to lead. Let me know if you have any questions. How is this for everybody? Okay. So now we're going to look at what energy is, okay? And the impact that energy has on leadership and on relationships. So understanding energy is an excellent way to expand into your leadership harmony. Albert Einstein has a really lovely quote for this, which I love. Everything is energy. Okay, so match the frequency of the reality that you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. And it cannot be any other way. This is not philosophy. This is physics. So for the purpose of this conversation, this isn't going to be a big science class. I just want you to understand how energy works, okay? So energy controls how a system operates. And to control the system, you're going to add energy through heat, or you're going to remove energy through cooling. Okay, so I just want you to just park that over here and remember this as a thread, as a thread throughout our conversation. So what does physics have to do with a relationship? Energy is the capacity of doing work. And when you know how energy works, you have the power to change any system and any relationship. This is the relationship that you have with yourself, with those that you love, with your business. And it's based on your level of self-trust. And that's why we start with trust, because it's foundationally important. So the law of attraction states, like energy attracts like energy, good or bad, okay? And so when you trust your self-leadership, This is where you're going to use this to practice being in this constant vibration of that which you want to attract. Okay. And so anything that is at that frequency is going to magnetize to you. And anything that's not at that frequency, you're not even going to be on the same wavelength. Okay. So you're going to practice being at that vibration that you want to be at. So I'm going to play a short video for you. This shows you how energy works in real time. You might have to put your volume up really loud for this because it's quite quiet. And I want you to remember how you change the way a system operates by adding energy through heat and removing it through cooling, okay? So this is called sympathetic resonance. Oh, maybe I can't play it. Why can't I play it? All right, well, I guess I can't play it. So I'm going to explain it to you. It must be how I've got the presentation mode set up. So you have two tuning forks. You can do the same thing with guitar strings, okay? So you strike a chord, you strike a tuning fork. And then if the tuning fork or the guitar string are in the same frequency, they're both going to vibrate, right? Remember, you're going to track that which you are. But if they're in a different frequency, they're not going to vibrate. So this shows you from a scientific perspective how energy works, okay? So let me know if you have any questions about this. It's weird, I'm gonna have to check that out, why that doesn't work. Okay. So now we're gonna talk about masculine and feminine energy, okay? So there are 12 universal laws. One of them is the law of gender. And this states there's masculine and there's feminine energy in everything. So regardless of gender, okay, both are within you. Both are equally important and both are equally independently strong. Okay, so whether you're a man or a woman or a cat or a dog or a tree or a butterfly, there's a masculine and a feminine energy in all things. Now, historically, much of society has traditionally operated in this more masculine energy, this hustle, this do mentality, go, go, go. This hasn't really offered much space for our feminine energy to just be, okay? So to change how these energies communicate, we need to start with being honest with ourselves. We need to start by trusting ourselves. And again, this is why it's so important that we start with trust. And we're going to be courageous to step forward into something that we don't know, that's not predictable. That is where we're going to create the change, okay? Even if it feels uncomfortable, even if it's unknown or scary, you use that foundation of trust to anchor your pivot point forward, okay? And just like trust, both of these energies, the masculine and the feminine, are deeply rooted in the subconscious. They both know their purpose and they both pursue it relentlessly. And both are not going to thrive without the support of the other. They will absolutely survive, but they won't thrive. Now, as humans, we all share the same goal, and that is to advance civilization. And your greatest potential as a human is met when you bring balance and harmony to your inner masculine and your inner feminine energy. So what does balanced energy look like and what does imbalanced energy look like? Okay, so some of these you're going to know, but I'm pointing these out just as a reminder to you. If you are imbalanced, you're definitely going to experience more stress. You're going to have more anxiety, more exhaustion. You're going to have poor boundaries, unhealthy attachments, dependencies, lack of trust, and limited joy and pleasure. And when you start to move into a more balanced or a more harmonious energy within you, more balance to your masculine and your feminine energy within you, those issues will diminish and or disappear completely. Your self-confidence is going to raise. You're going to have the ability to achieve your goals easier and faster. You're going to have improved communication and more effective collaboration. essentially you're going to be experiencing life through the lens of less pleasure and more pain. And who doesn't want that? Now, what is feminine and masculine energy? So I want you to imagine for a moment day without night, winter without summer, fear without love, thought without emotion. Another one of our universal laws is duality in life exists because we have this polarity, okay? And the masculine and the feminine energy are this yin and yang of polarity, okay? So within the yin and yang symbol, there's a black swirl and there's a white swirl, and then there's a dot of the opposite color inside. And that's a representation that we have this energy within us. It's not 50-50 balance. It's absolutely a harmonious blend designed by exactly how you are meant to live from your soul blueprint. I'm actually like almost 70% masculine energy, but I'm a woman. So it doesn't matter who you are or what you are, okay? There's masculine and feminine in both. So your feminine energy is your emotion. It's your intuition. It's your nurturing. It's your sensuality. It's collaboration. It is the energy of receiving. I want you to think about when somebody offers you a gift. How quick are you to immediately want to give something in return? Or don't have something to give and then you kind of scurry around? Just food for thought. Your masculine energy, this is your logic. This is your protection, your stability, your security, your safety, action. This is the energy of giving, okay? So your masculine energy gives and your feminine energy receives. Now, I love this chart because this is a really cool representation of the communication characteristics of each of these energies in both a healthy and an unhealthy masculine and feminine energetic representation. So have a look at this chart, and some certain words are going to jump out at you and you might be like, oh my God, this is amazing. Yes, I feel more healthy here. Ooh, I feel more unhealthy here. We're not perfect. And also we ebb and we flow. Some days I might feel more, controlling or more vulnerable. And also, depending your environment absolutely impacts your energy. That's a whole other conversation for a whole other time. This is just to show the way the energy reflects within us in our way we communicate. Okay, so any questions, let me know. Yes, great lead. We're absolutely going to talk about that next. So thank you. Okay, so how do these energies work together in partnership? So your feminine energy within you, okay? You intuitively know what you want. It's like, I know you took a cookie out of the cookie jar. I don't know how I know, I just know you did. I say to my 5-year-old, I know what I want. My feminine energy within me wants more resources to collaborate with. I want the right community and I want the right connections. Because I just want to be in this beautiful creative flow, because this is going to allow me to innovate, to grow, to keep moving. Think about it how like you're in a space where you just lose track of time. You just flow. You're in a great conversation, great day out on the boat, snowboarding down the mountain. You're creatively drawing. That's the energy. You're in the right moment at the right time and everything's flowing, because your masculine energy is fully devoted to your feminine energy. Just wants to make you happy, make it happen through action. So your feminine energy in you wants to experience this, and then your masculine energy, micro moments, make it happen by doing the action, by continuing the conversation or stopping the conversation, or doing the action or changing the action. But that's up to your self-trust and your ability to lead yourself, to listen to your intuition of what you want, and then to do that which you want so that you can stay in this beautiful flow. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. So where we get tripped up is we collectively, you, me, everybody, are learning how to release these old hustling, hierarchical, go, 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 do ways of doing. The old, unhealthy, outdated masculine energy within all of us, okay? And as we do this, we then turn and honor the strengths and the qualities of this feminine intuitive leadership because we see it is as equally as important. This is why for some, it's so hard to turn down the volume on the hustle and the busyness because we think we need to be doing so much to be productive. Rest is so productive. Quiet is so productive. Think about the analogy, happy wife, happy life, right? And remember, your greatest potential as a human is met when you bring balance and harmony to your inner masculine and your inner feminine energy. This is this energetic dance. This is the highest act of trust in the partnership, the relationship that you have with yourself, the relationship that you have with others. This increases your confidence. This increases the confidence of others. This empowers you. This empowers others. This creates a deeper love for yourself and a deeper love for others. How's that feel? Let me know if you have any questions. So, how do you balance your energy? Just remember, ladies first. We're going to start with the feminine energy, okay? Because the feminine energy is the leadership in her own right. Masculine is leadership in his own right. But micro moments, the feminine is the one that leads because feminine gets intuitive guidance from God, from source, from divine, from something bigger than you, and grounds it through masculine action, okay? So there's 5 ways that you can connect with your feminine energy, and you might be doing some of these already. Some of these might be new for you. This is a really great place to start. I've also got a free guide, How to Raise Your Vibration, which is included in the wellness guide. You'll see that. There's, I think, like 13 other ways that you can integrate and connect into your feminine. But the first one is movement and flow. Okay, so that's going to be breath work, maybe Kundalini, yoga, dancing, walking, running, whatever you need to do to get out of your head and sink into your body. Okay, so you can feel your body senses. And then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to explore creativity. So easiest way I love to do this is think about what you used to love doing as a child, as a young kid. Maybe it was drawing, maybe it was singing, maybe it was dress up. Maybe it was sports. Maybe it was fishing. Whatever you do because you love it and it's fun. Music, art, dance, writing. Creating a sacred space is, there's 2 ways to look at this. One of them is creating a sacred space within your home. So maybe like a place where you go meditate, or like, you know, if you're a guy and you come home and you have like the man cave or you want your quiet time, it's where you can connect in with yourself using your masculine energy to just move the noise, the busyness away so that you can reconnect with yourself. And then you can also do this from a group perspective. So women's circles. I host a weekly women's leadership circle, men's groups. Okay. Receiving self-love. Your feminine energy is about receiving. So even if you're a natural giver, it is absolutely vital that you fill up your own cup first, that you fill up your heart first. Do something nice for yourself. Go out on a date. Date yourself. Love and nourish yourself just as you are with no criticism. Dote on yourself. Take time for yourself. Appreciate yourself. Compliment yourself. And the last thing is to just be curious. Excuse me. Welcome curiosity into your world. Questions. Ask questions often. Ask questions to yourself, ask questions to those in your world. Get curious without an attachment to, I want them to say this. Just creating space for what is to come through. So next, we're going to do 2 ways to integrate your masculine and your feminine energy within you, okay? So, like I said before, many of us unknowingly reject this inner feminine energy, okay? So we're in this survival, this hustle, this go, 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 this competition, this performing. We do this showing of our masculine action, consciously or unconsciously, because we're hiding our feminine emotions. Maybe we don't want to get hurt. Maybe we've been hurt in the past. And so we've got some calcification around us. But the truth is, the more vulnerable you are, showing both of your energies equally and authentically in their strength and leadership, the more you're going to feel good, and the more everyone you connect in is going to feel that energy. They're going to feel good as well. So think about it like a marriage or a partnership, okay? So you're each good at something. You might not know that your husband loves to do laundry because you just do it. And he might not know that you like to sweep and tidy and dust because he just does it. But when you come together and have a conversation, and then you realize you're both good at it, but you're not great at it, or it doesn't like light you up, or like, I love doing laundry because I just get into the zone and it's kind of meditative for me. So it's great. So letting go of that control. And if we think back about energy, remember, you can control a system by putting energy in through heat and removing it through cooling. So you're over controlling a situation because you're doing so much, causing higher energy heat. But then you step back and you allow this empty space. Energy wants to be in motion. It wants to move. It wants to fill in this space. So that creates space for somebody else to come forward and to do something that they really love or they're really good at. Because you're trusting yourself to lead, to back away. And you're also trusting that other person to step into that space to lead themselves. This is the exact way that you do less and receive more. This is how you collapse time on your success, by trusting your self-leadership. So I got some homework questions for you. So do you reject some parts of yourself because maybe you think it's weak or you're not good enough? Do you wish you were maybe more or less ambitious? Are you afraid to speak your truth in some circumstances? So the second way that you are going to bring balance and harmony to your inner masculine and your inner feminine and accelerate your success is by practicing mindfulness. Why do we practice mindfulness? Mindfulness is no longer a nice to have. It is an absolute must have. We live in a busy world. We have lots of noise. We must be intentional with our time and with our energy. These 2 things keep us healthy. They help us support our self-regulation. And most important, they help us shift from automatically reacting to our environment to responding. Very different. So mindfulness literally is just being present and open-minded in the moment. Okay. And so how you're going to practice mindfulness is you're going to pause. You are going to observe your thoughts more frequently, always if possible. And you're going to catch yourself when you're thinking either something positive or something negative about yourself, or maybe about somebody else or something else. And you're going to allow yourself to feel what comes up, all of it, without any judgment. This energetic dance, this is how your inner masculine gives structure and stability for your inner feminine to feel safe, to lean back and open, to decalcify what's protecting you so that you can receive what you're exactly meant to receive in that moment. Because your masculine energy has got you, and they're working together as a team so that you can get the guidance into your heart, no more, no less. And then you use your masculine energy to ground it into the ground through action, your intuitive wisdom into action. This strength, this trust, this flow of this partnership. This is how you raise your frequency. This is how you receive more harmony in all areas of your life. And this is the exact key to unlocking the puzzle of doing less and receiving more, and how you collapse time on your success. That's it. Easy peasy, right? So remember, okay, so to welcome harmony, you're going to strive for balance, okay? Progress, not perfection, okay? We're human, okay? Neither one of these energies are going to thrive without the support, the love, the respect, the devotion, the honoring of the other. Practice living with intention. When you desire change, whatever it is here in here or in your environment, you're going to start first by trusting your self-leadership. You're going to have the courage to step forward or to lean back to create the space for the energy to be added or removed to change how you control your system, resulting in more balance and more harmony. This is going to satisfy your human desire to continue to grow and evolve. 1000% do this, and I guarantee you're going to feel the difference. You're going to receive success in deeper connections, stronger partnerships, the right relationships, better communication, better time management, more innovation, more growth, more creative expansion. So like I said, in a perfect world, easy peasy lemon squeezy, but we're human, okay? I understand. We have fears, we have core wounds, we have vulnerabilities. And if you need help with any of this, I'm absolutely available to connect with you for a further conversation. So I want to share with you a case study about a dear client and friend named Yoda. Yoda came to me and he wanted to learn about masculine and feminine energy. He wanted to have a deeper connection with himself. He had some unhealed family issues, unresolved personal issues. And, you know, we moved through all of that. And then I think we were together about a year and a half. And during that time, towards the end of our journey, he was invited to consolidate his global meditation company. He was the, oh my gosh, the director of marketing. And so he asked me to come in and look at the company through the lens, as a consultant, through the lens of masculine and feminine energy, because he knew that I had 20 years of corporate business sales experience. And he didn't want to build a company based on the old model, the hustle, the go, the hierarchy, right? So he built this system, restructuring the foundation of this consolidation in balanced masculine and feminine energetic harmony. And the merger was successful. It was 5 locations merged down to 1. The merger was successful. The KPIs were all hit. The employee retention was through the roof. And he was promoted from director to chief marketing officer during the time of this merger. And so I share this with you because, yes, we're talking about masculine and feminine energy within us. Absolutely. But everything that goes on in here impacts and is a reflection in our outside world. So you start here, and then you see how you can integrate this in relationships with your children, with your partner, with your mom or your dad, with your neighbor, with your coworkers, with your company that you're building. Because everything starts with energy, and everything is a relationship. And when you trust yourself to lead, you have the power to change your world. So, any questions before we hop to the last section? Okay, so in this last section, I'm going to drop in the chat the link to the Live with Intent free wellness workbook. There's 4 exercises in there, and we're going to do 2 of the exercises in there today. Or you can do them on replay, and then you can comment and then share your success. I would love to hear. Okay. So in this last section, we're going to tie everything together. You're going to create a sustainable system that's going to prioritize your well-being. We're going to do this by deconstructing your goals and rearranging your current system so that you can literally hold everything in your hands without dropping anything. Okay, so you cannot manage a system that you don't measure. You can't successfully manage a system that you don't measure, because what are you going to measure it against, right? And you can't improve a system that you don't properly manage. So where do we begin? Perhaps you feel unsatisfied. Maybe you're disorganized. Maybe you're directionless. And maybe you're overwhelmed. Maybe you're exhausted. Oh my God, you have so much to do. You have not enough time. Maybe you want deeper, more meaningful relationships. Life is good, but it's not great. And you want great. Wellness goals are going to help you decrease your stress, reduce your anxiety, promote healthy boundaries, improve your work-life balance, increase your confidence and your success. So today, for the purpose of this conversation, I want you to feel into specifically what healthy wellness actions can you commit to completing daily in support of your success. And I want you to remember what we've just learned. How to connect with your feminine, your emotions, your vulnerability, your heart, your intuition, and how each of these energies want to work together in a harmonious partnership with inside of you. This is going to help you establish the right goals based on your truth and your desire for your highest success. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to invite you to dream big. Okay, I want you to make a list of everything you have ever wanted to create, to experience, to achieve, to travel to journey, to discover, to build. What is the legacy that you want to leave? And I want you to do this by looking at all key areas of your life, okay? Spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, relationship, career, and financial. This is in the workbook. This is the dream big exercise. Okay, so I'm going to get you to look at that. And I want to let you in on a little secret. If you allow yourself to hold everything that you've ever wanted, you're going to receive everything that you've ever wanted. You just have to trust yourself that you can hold it. It is easier to manifest big. Okay, so I want you to think as big as you can. And if you doubt, I don't know if I can do that, go bigger. Go so big that you cannot possibly poke holes in how am I going to do this? Because we'll figure that out next. I just want you to go big, okay? I also want you to be really specific, be very descriptive, use all of your senses. I want you to just swim in that space, that vision, that dream, whether it's prescriptive and you're like itemizing, or whether it's a sensation and you're dreaming, because people manifest differently. I just want you to put yourself in that dream. Okay, because this is going to help you determine exactly what you need to do to achieve your big dreams. And then once you've done that, then we're going to go super, 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 super small. Okay. So more important than the planning is the action, okay? And more important than the action is the believing. If you don't believe in yourself, you're going to keep manifesting more of that which you don't want and less of what you do want. Remember the self-trust, remember the energy, because you're going to practice being in the energy of that which you want to achieve, okay? So when you're doing this, you've got the long-term and the short-term goals. You're going to reverse engineer your dreams into small bite-sized actions. You're going to drill down small enough so that you 100% believe that you can complete this action. Like it literally might just be, I'm going to get up and have a glass of water this morning, and you're going to commit to doing that. It can be anything. Okay, I'm going to make the phone call, whatever it is. This is going to help you build the momentum, which is going to help you let go of the old habits. And also, I want you to celebrate every single time. This 1% shift into the direction of that which you want to receive is better than no shift at all. And you're going to use the foundation of trusting your self-leadership as that spring off point to go forward. That's why it's so important. Okay. You may still run into mindset problems, energetic problems. And I'm absolutely happy to have a conversation with you and help you if you would like somebody to walk this path with you. Okay. The last thing and the most important is I want you to have fun. Your number one priority in life is to have fun, is to enjoy your life, to not hurry up, work your butt off till you're 65 and then retire. No, it's to enjoy all the moments along the way. And if you don't enjoy it, or if this exercise or anything in your life feels like a chore, you're not going to want to subconsciously do it. You're going to sabotage yourself. You're going to keep avoiding it. So don't do it. Ensure that you stay in a positive mindset when you do your goal writing exercise, your dreaming exercise, as well as when you're saying them and then you're actioning them daily. Okay, super important because you want to rewire those neurons. So remember, your subconscious mind listens to how you feel. So pause and ask yourself, how do you feel? Am I successfully going to complete this task? I want you to also think, am I doing this because I'm running away from pain? Or am I doing this because I'm walking towards my pleasure? How do those feel in your body? We're naturally hardwired to survive. Okay. But the good news is a positive thought is 100 times more successful and more powerful than a negative thought. And so it's easier than you think to retrain your mind to stay in that positive, to go towards your pleasure. And now that I've given you an awareness of it, you're going to think and feel in those experiences, am I looking at this running away from my pain from a negativity perspective? Or am I doing this from a positive perspective? So your homework is I want you, as you're doing your dream big and your short and your long-term goals, and as you just continue to move throughout your life, I want you to infuse your positive thoughts into your daily routine. And do this a few times a day. And if you have to schedule this in like I did when I first started, then absolutely schedule yourself as a check-in point because you're rewiring, you're learning. So infuse your positive thoughts into your daily routine a few times a day. And then you're going to combine this with a powerful emotion when thinking about your goal. And these two things together are going to compound your success. Okay. So the goal creating worksheet that you have, if you've started it, that's amazing. Feel free to drop some comments in the chat or on replay, or just to continue to move through this at home. Okay. So the second exercise we're going to do, we're going to make your schedule. This is the 21-day up level. Okay. So I want you to finish the dream big exercise first and your short and your long-term goals. And now we're going to make your schedule that is easy for you to follow, that's going to prioritize your wellness, that's going to create structure and stability and accountability and anchor in that new foundation. Okay. I'll have to put the link to this video in the description because they're not playing, but But for any of you that have seen this, it's a really cool representation of a professor that has a jar full of rocks and pebbles, and it gives you a perspective on what's most important and how we are prioritizing our well-being, and how most of us are kind of doing it backwards. So when you create your schedule, I want you to prioritize your activities in order of importance. The most important thing is your wellness. This is your number one priority. Filling your cup, filling your heart first is where you create that balanced energy. And absolutely, when you take care of yourself first, you absolutely have more energy to help others because you're not taking from others to fill up your bucket. Okay. Super simple way to decide what is a priority. Does this bring me joy? Yes or no? And if the answer is no, then just don't do it. So the next thing you're going to want to do is schedule your activities in order of importance. Okay. So your top priority is your non-negotiable needs. For the purpose of this exercise, this includes prioritizing you filling up your cup first, your wellness, your solid foundation. Then it's your wants. Anything that can be moved personally or professionally. This is commitments. This is business meetings. This is proposals. This is activities. Totally understand people have businesses to run and things are important and prioritized and urgent. And that's, like I said, we ebb and we flow and we're human and it's progress, not profession. But when you schedule in your wellness first, there's a very good possibility that that is the foundation that is going to remain throughout your day. Okay. And then your low priorities are your nice to haves. Wouldn't it be great if, okay, just think about anything you can delegate: laundry, housekeeping, grocery shopping, running errands. Okay. And then what you're going to do at the end of the day or at the end of the week, you're going to reflect and you're going to realign what worked, what didn't, what can be improved. You're going to continue to revise your schedule aligned to your big dreams. This is why it's so important to know where you're going, because then you have an anchor point based on your soul desires, not somebody else's. So here's some examples of some non-negotiable wellness activities that you can start integrating. A lot of these I did when I was first starting my wellness journey. A lot of these I still do today, and I experience them very differently. So daily self-check-ins. Literally, I had to schedule these in my phone as a reminder multiple times throughout the day. Pause to notice how you feel mentally, physically. No judgment, no criticism, just checking in with yourself, having that mindful connection to turn off the outside and to connect in. Okay. Keeping your space clean. So this could look like not reaching for your phone when you wake up in the morning, having it beside your bed, and that's the first thing you do. Lingering in your dream state a little longer as you just decide and set your intention for the day. Grounding, centering, cleansing your space as needed throughout the day. Think about the breathing that we did at the very beginning. We cleared out the space and we brought intention to our space. Okay. When I let go of multitasking, for the most part, I am 1,000 times better at it. I mean, I still do it, but I am very intentional with not multitasking. It was liberating. It was freedom. Oh my God, because it allows me to focus on one thing at a time, using my masculine energy, because we all know men do kind of one-to-one transactional thing, and women, we can do everything. And when you bring intention to the moment, this time blocks you from distraction. It reduces your margin of error so that you don't have to go back and do it over. And from a relationship perspective, it enriches, it deepens the experience because you're focused and you're so listening, you're so giving, and you're so receiving into the moment. It's beautiful. Creating intentional micro breaks in your day. Okay. So This could be pausing to take a break before you engage in the next thing. So literally closing down an experience. We had a beginning and a middle and an end to this presentation here, and closing this down before you go to the next thing. This could look like going for a mindful walk, a meditation, breath work, journaling. This could also be a technology break. Maybe having a healthy snack, having a glass of water, chatting with a friend, listening to some music, something that changes what you're doing and grounds you before you go to the next thing. Getting outside, countless studies have shown the positive impact nature has on your mental health and wellness, even just 15 minutes a day. And if you can get outside and go for a walk without your phone, so good, because you're bringing connection and an appreciation to you and, nature, which is so important for your mental health and wellness. Visualizing your success. Visualizing yourself completing the journey, completing the goal. Think about the professional athlete. They're shooting the goal. They're taking the shot, right? They're shooting the goal. They're in it. So when they're actually in it, there's no big gap. They've closed the gap. Higher likelihood you're going to meet your goals because you've reduced all the noise and clutter and energy that's getting in the way between where you are and where you want to be. Gratitude changed my life. I have a free 21-day gratitude journey in my private Facebook group. You are absolutely welcome to join it. I actually manifested $10,000 vacation when I did it, which was super fun and surprising. But gratitude and appreciation absolutely changed my life. I love asking myself, what are 3 things that you're grateful for? I do this to my kids. I do this with my partner. And I love doing this before I go to bed because it sets me up to positively reflect on my best experience of the day so that I go into a beautiful, healthy, healing sleep. I use all my senses to connect in and feel it on all different levels. And, I ask myself, how does this feel? So as a reminder, your best practices for success, I want you to do no more than 3 goals a day. I want you to write your activities in advance. I want you to look at it from the lens of more action, less planning. I want you to be flexible with your time. This is a guide. This is not the rule. Okay, we're human. Life happens. But if you have a guide to follow, there's a good chance you're going to follow it and complete it. And so important to celebrate every action you do. That positive reinforcement, so important. Okay. So when you do the 21-day up level, the reason why I call it that is it takes 21 days to create a new habit and anchor it in. If you need help, if you want to celebrate it, absolutely please reach out. Okay. So Claudia was a dear friend and client who I worked with earlier in the year. And we did a business planning session. We did an intensive full VIP day business planning session. And her goals were she wanted to grow her business. She wanted to drive more revenue and she wanted to have more fun. She kind of just felt like the life had been sucked out of her. She was going through the process. It wasn't exciting. She wasn't engaged. She wasn't connecting. So what we did was we took a look at her system and we rearranged it and we reverse engineered it based on her dreams, based on her overall personal and professional goals. And we brought it down into bite-sized actionable chunks. And almost immediately she messaged me and said, oh my God, like people are coming in. I don't know, these people, they're just calling me. This is great. I'm having so much fun. She had an ROI on her investment in less than 2 weeks. She had more fun. She was writing naturally. She was flowing better. And she injected more fun and pleasure and joy into her business. And as a result, people felt that energy and she was rewarded financially. But there was also many other successes that she received. So again, as I recap your homework, if you've started to work on it now, amazing. If you want to do it later, amazing, please tag me. You got your Dream Big worksheet, and you got your 21-day up-level worksheet inside the Live with Intent wellness workbook. And there's also a couple of other exercises in there that you can leverage to support. Okay. So when you do this, you're going to look at all the 7 areas of your life. I want you to think about what you're ready to change right now. I want you to commit to 1 to 3 wellness actions only for 21 days. And you can share it with your family, with your loved ones. You can share it on social. Just share and celebrate it, right? Celebrate your success. And you can tag me in social and I'll celebrate with you. Okay. And if you need additional support, absolutely, I'm here for you. If you want to connect with me, I'm a life and a business mentor. Like I said, I host a weekly business feminine energy business leadership circle, have a full wellness community called the Aligned Woman, which is amazing. It's everything I learned on my initial healing journey. I have a full business consulting agency. So there's tons of ways that you can connect into my world. I will drop in the comments a link to my website and how to book a call to connect. When you're doing your 21-day up level, these 1 to 3 things that you're doing could literally look at just creating a new schedule, creating some plans, creating some systems. It could be daily meditations, stretching, working out, eating better, maybe reading or getting off the phone before going to bed. These don't have to be monumental shifts. I always like to say, remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. The pyramids weren't built in a day. It was one brick at a time. But then you look back and you're like, oh my God, we've come this far. It's the same thing. So we're at the end of our presentation. We're just going to do a couple summary things to wrap up. Okay. So you've learned how to up-level your wellness. You've learned how to trust your self-leadership, and you've learned how to balance your energy. Even though I have shared with you how leadership harmony will accelerate your success, I really want to make sure that you're careful of the following. Okay. Make sure your dreams are crystal clear. Don't work too hard on the wrong things. Your time and your energy are vital to your success. Ensure your masculine and your feminine are working together in this harmonious partnership. Slow down. I cannot stress this enough. Okay. This is like the race of the tortoise and the hare. And we're all learning to not be the hare and become more of the tortoise. I want you to integrate what you've learned before you go to the next thing. That way you don't have to go back and redo it. Most people get stuck here unconsciously. Okay. And like I said, if you're finding that you're looping in these old patterns and habits, these are the problems that you may still experience. Poor work-life balance, negative self-talk, lack of forward momentum, control issues, poor boundaries and codependencies, and you're still going to be seeking that external validation and direction. So wherever you are in your journey, leadership harmony will help. And wherever you are, know that you're supported. You can either choose to remain in the world that you know or trust that which you cannot see but deeply know to be true and create your new reality right now. This unknown space is where the magic happens. This is your exact 0 point of change. This is your surrender moment, where you find that key that's going to unlock your new way of being wealthy in all areas of your life. And it starts with you choosing to create the change. This is why harmony is so important to our success as individuals, as partners, as a community. It creates space to balance, to connect, to shine, to expand, to collaborate, to innovate, to change our world. And it starts with you to trust in harmony, to believe in yourself, to be the change with grace, with love, with compassion. And I absolutely celebrate each and every one of you who are choosing to be our future right now. So I have a final question for you. I would love to hear from you. What is one word that you're going to take home from our time here together today? Please drop it in the comments. And if you're watching this on replay, feel free to tag me, drop it in the comments on replay. And yeah, so I love you. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for taking space to rise in your self-leadership. I trust this has served you well. And if you have any questions, I will provide my contact information in the chat, in the description after the session, so you can connect to me. We can book a call. We can have a conversation about my private mentorship or about any of my programs. But most of all, I just want you to be really proud of taking this step forward, to be the change and to lead in harmony, because you're changing your world. I love you. Have a beautiful day. And I'll see you soon.